then the same was true in Naas and Athy, Portlaoise and so on. So the process is going to keep going. I'm going to keep speaking to people until the polls close on Thursday. And the most important thing is that those of you who have been gathered here, you're so wonderful to come. I thank you for that. And thank you, as I've said, for your patience in waiting for us. I think that everything is now there, in fact, for us to make a very significant gain. What I mean by that, not a gain for me, not in that sense that it would bother me, but I think a gain for the people of Ireland, because what is at stake, as I'm coming to the end of this campaign, I can become far more economical in the way I put it. What is at stake is a version of Ireland for the next 7 years. And that's what's at stake. I'm very glad that the Labour Party that put me into the field is here, but also those others outside of the Labour Party who have joined in. And I'm particularly grateful as well to the great extended families, that cousins of Sabina Coyne, my wife, and my own cousins, very dear friends of mine. My mother was born in Liscarroll, County Cork. My father met my mother in Canties, Shop and in Liscarroll. As my father and his brothers were in the War of Independence on different sides in the Civil War. My father was in the Cork No. 2 Brigade and spent 1923 in detention. The Civil War was a great wound in Ireland, and Ireland is wounded again. Ireland has been wounded by an appalling kind of decisions by a very small group of people who decided to lose all the advantages of economic growth and squander it in a speculative version of the economy that has at the end lost us our economic sovereignty to an enormous degree. And yet the country is full of young people who are talented. It's full of older people who are full of principle. And all during this campaign, if it never ended victoriously, I am so glad to have had the opportunity of having a certain kind of conversation with the people of Ireland and with people. There are people who all their life. There are people who all their life, you know, they know if I say the phrase, the basic decencies. These are what was at stake. And what was in fact happening during that time of the last 10 or 15 years that has now ended up, it isn't a case of just losing a phrase like losing our economic sovereignty, that has left us with 424,000 unemployed people, that has left people with mortgages that are enormous on property that has fallen in value by 50 to 60%, that are looking at